Okay, so as I mentioned, the topic, right? This topic is a buzzword right now in the market, but it's in the beta version. As I suggested, don't recommend right away to your client, and make sure if you're recommending to any of your Meetup group or you're giving any suggestions, this is only available right now in US region. Okay, and this is completely, I'll say, web-based right now, and integrated with Anypoint platform properly. And when you look at this Anypoint Code Builder, there'll be desktop version also. Okay, so that is there in roadmap. Once they launch the GA, they'll be launching the desktop version of this particular ID. So right now, everything you can design, you can publish, you can implement, you can source control, everything you can do it from one screen. That's why we have Anypoint Code Builder ID. This is actually a wrapper on top of Visual Studio, okay, and we have old ID which is on top of Eclipse, okay. So this will give you a better look and feel, more robust, stable. But right now, this they are launched in the beta version, so you need to wait for the ZA. I don't have any dates when they are going to launch GA version for the Anypoint Code Builder, but they keep on adding functionality to this code builder. Okay, so as I mentioned, complete API lifecycle you can do it via single screen. Okay, yeah, you can connect. So basically, it has a lot of features. Like one of the feature is code completion, right? So that it provides suggestions for code snippet, your function names based on your context. Okay, it has native Git integration, which allows you to source control your code to your repository. It has real-time collaboration, so multiple developers work on the same code base simultaneously, and this will help you when your team is distributed. We have culture of remote work, right? So people are working from their home, so this guy gives the more collaboration, real-time collaboration, where on the same code base we can work from their individual instances. Some advanced features like debugging capability. Here we can go through the XML code itself. We can put breakpoints. It was there in the Anypoint Studio also, but here in the XML code itself, we can put the breakpoints, and you can debug our code, inspect variables. You can write expressions and validate those. We'll get it. Okay. Some thing like directly it's integrated with the Anypoint platform. So cloud deployment, again there is a limitation here. Right now we can do with only with the cloud of 1.0. So that deployment you can do with one click here. You don't need to configure pom.xml and do that stuff. If one click, it will deploy to your cloud of 1.0. When you're writing specification, it will initially sync your project with your design center. After that, they have given the Git integration. Sorry, Git integration. You can sync your Anypoint Code Builder state with the design center state. Okay, and finally, we'll see that the QA session. So we'll basically, as I mentioned, right? So design, develop, deploy from single environment. So as I mentioned, right, this is next generation IDE, web-based IDE, and I think I have already added these things. Only thing is the desktop version is not available right now. It is going to come. Okay, it is there in beta version. So my suggestion is to not recommend right now for production deployment or client who are there in UU or the government clouds. Okay. Now, when we're talking about setting up the Anypoint Code Builder, right? So we need to first, what I'll try. I'll just start with the demo. Better, it will give you the clarity. Okay, so let me. Okay, so let's look at. Okay, So once you log into your Anypoint platform, okay, so I have created fresh account. So if you have trial account, right, you go ahead and you'll get the Anypoint Code Builder here available, and they have tagged it beta over here. Now, if you are not, let's say, since we have created trial account, we are the boss of your complete platform, right? But if you are a developer added to the environment, then you need to have proper permission. Okay, so we can go to the access management. If the teams are created and the under teams, if the permission is added already, you can be part of that team and directly you get access. Okay, so try new feature. Okay, under users, maybe if you want to assign that, you can go ahead and see there is a permission called, okay, there's a permission called Anypoint Code Builder. Okay, you can go ahead and do that, add to yourself. Okay, so next, add permission. This permission should be there with you to work with Anypoint Code Builder. That's the minimum requirement. Okay, now let's go back. Then you can launch your code builder, so which is already, I think it takes time initially. So I have launched already, but before that I wanted to show you. So here you can see, here you'll be able to see your ID details. Okay, so this is the image. So when you launch first time, it creates the container for you, and recently they have changed the URL also. If you would have worked a month before, the URL was little different. Okay, now the URL is little different. It's coming with the salesforce.com now. Okay, I'm not sure whether you work with the initial release of Anypoint Code Builder or not, but that time the URL was little different. Okay, so now you see the URL when it was created. I have created recently. You can see that today itself, 20th. Okay, you can reboot it from here. You can delete this instance from here. So if you are not using, please delete this, because these are all cloud instances. They will be consuming resources. Okay, so if you are not doing that, please do it. Okay, and this is the image used for this complete ID. Okay, now when you launch it, it takes time. That's the reason I have already launched it. If I go back, it will launch this page. So we'll close everything. Let me launch it and show you how it looks. Okay, so you can see that your web ID is ready to use. I'll go to this option. So left hand side, the bottom option, it will give you what all we can do here. Okay, so design an API, implement an API, develop and directly integration. Now, I'll be interested in the help part. Okay, so if you want to see documentation, so on the same page, just like data view playground, right? We get the documentation tutorials. So you can go ahead and look how we can design our API. So that documentation is given here. All the RAML versions and OS versions are supported right now. You can go ahead and explore this documentation. We have implementation, how to implement it. That documentation is also there. We have how to develop directly if you want to create the implementation, right? A simple app, hello world app, how to do that. So these documentations are available. Please go ahead and explore this. So I'll just close this. Other than this, if you go to the bottom here, okay, now Salesforce is closely watching what all bugs are there. That's the reason they have given this beta version for the community to explore and see what are their bugs. Okay, this will help Salesforce to uncovered or untested bugs, because let's say they have not seen those bugs, and because of some environment setup or because of some infrastructure setup difference, we could see the errors or bugs. You can go ahead and submit your feedback on GitHub. So this is maintained over here. You can see that you can here log new bugs over here. We have on the trailhead, we have community here. You can go ahead and there are discussions available over here. You can pick this mulesoft Anypoint Code Builder, and you can see people are posting their issues over here, and mulesoft is responding to those issues. You can see here somebody is asking. See, Pooja is asking when will be the desktop version available. So they are saying that we are supporting Web ID only, but when they are planning to have GA, right? Their extension. This is like, as I mentioned, right? This is VS Code based, so they'll be giving this, in Visual Studio Code itself. You'll be able to run the Anypoint Code Builder on your desktop. Okay, that is what. I'm not committing anything, but that's what the comment over here, right? See here, they are asking for government cloud, right? So they are saying this is there in the roadmap post GA. Okay, so with GA, first they will launch GA, then after that they are planning to have government cloud. So even I was facing this issue that when I started working on the Anypoint Code Builder, there was no UI to drag and drop those components from the Mule palette, right? It's very intuitive in the Anypoint Studio. I can go to Mule palette, and if I select the new specific module, I'll be able to see what are options are there, operations and scopes, right? That was not there initially in the Anypoint Code Builder. Now they have added actually. Okay, so we can see that. um yeah, that is what it will be happening here, so you should follow this also. Okay, let me close this. Okay, most of the people will be interested in whenever there is a new component or new features comes into market, right? They'll be interested in how feasible, how stable, how compatible this feature or product, right? So they'll be looking at, okay, what all known issues are there, what all the limitations are there. So let me talk about it. For one of the issue is I was facing is you cannot redeploy the same asset to the cloud again. What you need to do, you need to delete that, and then your option. There is no workaround for this. Okay, this is the workaround. Go ahead, delete it, and then deploy it right now. Okay. Then second one, what I saw is one thing I saw. mm, yeah, there. These are some issues. You can go ahead and have a look at it. Okay, these are some issues available on the known issues and limitation page. But this is what I was really worried about. Okay, because Anypoint Studio anywhere it allows, right? But in Anypoint Code Builder, not sure what's the plan they have. But this is not acceptable, right? Go ahead and delete and deploy the application again, right? This is not acceptable, correct? This can't be a workaround. Okay, so yeah, so you can't say anything, right? This is beta version, so you need to accept it as it is. But you can definitely go ahead and log this kind of issues. They'll be monitoring those on the priority. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything you want to add or something like that? Anybody? Okay.
Ashish, when you
Yeah.
say like we need to delete and then
Yeah.
we need to again create it, right? So that will have no impact, right? Because it is already
No, that's what they're saying, right? If you okay, let me go to the yeah. What they're saying is when from okay, okay, by the way, there is an option here to deploy your application. Okay. When you're deploying it, right, same application again to the cloud hub, it will fail. Okay, so that means in the cloud hub, you need to delete it and then redeploy it. That is what they're saying, right? If you delete and deploy the application again.
have to any patch that we have to apply, right? Suppose any code breaks or any, so in that case, we need to first delete it and then apply the patch in my local and then
Yeah, yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Okay, don't delete in your Anypoint Code Builder. Go to Cloud Hub, delete from there, okay, and then redeploy it from Anypoint Code Builder. Is this clear? Is this confusing? This point?
it's
Okay.
and
Yeah,
suppose
Balkish,
exactly
keep
first this application then later on. Then in
uh,
because it is, currently we have a memory issue, right? So first we need to delete it from instance for code builder, right?
There is no problem in there is no who is speaking. Let me take.
Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul, right? Yeah. So Rahul, there is no problem in Anypoint Code Builder when they're trying to deploy to the cloud hub, right? The same instance. Let's say issue. Now you're fixing that issue and you're trying to deploy it, right? That time it won't allow you to redeploy that same application in the cloud hub. So what we need to do now, be at the code builder as it is, go to cloud hub, log into cloud hub, okay? That means Anypoint platform, delete the application from there, and then come back to the Anypoint code builder and deploy it. It will work. That's what the workaround right now. You're getting my point now?
Yeah, there is a
My
question
question was
from
like, in case of say I have deployed any other application. Now I am working on some. So you were saying, right, that if you are not using, then delete the instance. So in that case also I need to delete it, or I
Ah,
can use the
oh,
Anypoint
oh.
code builder instance.
I got your point. You're trying to tell this one, right? This is completely, this is your IDE. I said if you're not using this particular IDE, right? This, and I was talking about deleting this and not talking about delete something from here. So what we can do is here, from here, once your code is done, right? You can literally source control that code to your code repository. That is one scenario. Okay. I don't want you to keep the code inside this particular instance. Okay. Because this instance, anytime they can delete it. This is the container. Okay. So what you do, you make a code change. I'll tell you one by one step, all the steps. Okay. Right now we are looking at only look and feel of this code builder. You can literally connect with your code repo first. You can clone that repository inside your Anypoint Code Builder, make the code change, sync that code back to the code repository. If you have pipeline over there, pipeline automatically triggered and it will deploy your code to the your Cloud Hub or RTF or anywhere. There is no problem with that approach. No problem at all. The problem which we are talking about, right? Let's say I have application, hello world application. Now I have deployed that with version 1.0.0. The 1.0.0, with that version, I can deploy it 100 times in the cloud hub, right? There is no problem at all. Now, hello world application, I got a production issue. I come back to the code builder. Now that hello world, I said hello world Ashish. That was the fixed ID. Now I'm trying to deploy it from here itself. There is a deploy option here. Now, when I try to deploy it to the cloud hub, it will fail. Now, how to fix that? What is the workaround? Now I log into my Anypoint platform, delete that application from there, and deploy it. The first approach is completely fine, no issues with that. If you are following CI/CD pipeline, no issues with that. The problem here when you're trying to deploy it from the Anypoint Code Builder. Clear so far? If you're creating
Yes.
fresh application, no problem at all. Same application, you're trying to deploy it again. Okay.
Is your code auto saved, Ashish?
Sorry.
Is it auto saving your code? I mean, when for example, you are developing something, then is it there is a save option there, or is it auto saving?
I need to check. I generally save it, but I need to check. Okay. So if you look at here, right? Um, First thing we'll do it. First, we'll go ahead and we'll log into our Anypoint platform. First thing we'll do it, so that our Anypoint platform will be in sync with our Anypoint Code Builder. Okay. So if you say open it, definitely from Code Builder, this is Salesforce domain. We're trying to connect to the Anypoint mulesoft.com domain. So it will always ask you to trust. They will do handshaking, and once the handshaking is done, they will share their keys, and now they will say that okay, you can go ahead and close it. So first step number one. Okay, so now at the bottom you see here, right hand side bottom, you'll see your username. So that means you are logged in now. Okay, so now you can connect to Exchange, you can connect to Design Center, you can connect to Cloud Hub from here. Okay, so now that connection is clear. You can go here and it will show you what all extensions are important, because this is based on your VS Code, right? So these are the extensions available: API Kit extension, data extension, integration, mule runtime. Now, when we are creating something here, and just like Anypoint Studio, we can run those applications here. Now, most of the people will be thinking, okay, let's say I have 2 vCore license in my Anypoint platform. Will something from there will be consumed over here? No, not at all. This mule runtime, which is hosting your application inside your Anypoint Code Builder, that is not going to consume anything from your license. Exactly similar to the Anypoint Studio. In Anypoint Studio, you get embedded mule runtime, right? 100 times you can deploy application. 100 applications you can deploy on that mule runtime. That mule runtime, whatever consumptions are done by your applications, that is not going to get contributed to your mulesoft license. That is completely free. This is completely free. Whatever resources we are getting here with the Anypoint Code Builder are completely free. Any questions over there? Licensing part I'm talking about. Okay. The platform, you can connect it from here, from the platform. So all the extensions are added on top of VS Code, and that's what after this extension, right? Today only I have launched this. So see, only 65 minutes, milliseconds, all these things are just now we launched it, right? So once they installed, that VS Code becomes the Anypoint Code Builder. That's how I take it this way. Okay. Now, if you go here, from here you can debug your application. You can run your application. This is very important. Now, if I want to publish something from here, first time I have created, let's say, I want to publish it, or I want to initialize the repository. What I can do, I'll go ahead and first connect with my code repo. So if you go here, we have multiple things. Okay, so before that, what I'll do instead of that, let's create a proper folder structure. Whenever you do deployment or any implementation, do these things. Okay, go to open folder. Now this will show you, this guy will show you the root folder which is created by Anypoint Code Builder on the container where your code builder is running. So you can go ahead and create. So let's say for specification, I'll just go ahead and I'll select this folder first. You come down here. Okay, and files. So you are under right now root directory, which is your whatever username you have used, right? With that username, one directory will be created. Under that directory, what we can do, we can go ahead and create our folders. So let's say I'll keep my all specification here, specifications. So now you'll see at this level, specification got created, and I have created one folder called POC also. Now I can go ahead and select this, and you create one more folder if you want to implement or put integrations. Okay, you go ahead and create these directories first. Okay. Now, I was talking about cloning something from the GitHub repository. So here you see the option clone GitHub repository. You can go ahead and it will give you option to clone the GitHub repository. Okay, you go ahead and first it will ask you this extension, GitHub extension wants to sign your GitHub. Go ahead and copy this code. Okay, this code will be required to log in. Okay, copy this, copy and continue with the GitHub. This guy wants to open the login page of your GitHub, and the GitHub will ask that code. So because whenever you start working, right, you'll be taking code from your GitHub repository or any code repo. That is what we are going to do now. So we are going to clone something from our code repo. Come on.
So Ashish, meanwhile it is getting up.
Mhm.
I want to ask, like you have shown like Coimbatore Meetup as a root repository, root
Yes,
folder.
yes, root
So
folder.
so that is like it is a specific project. Now suppose I have multiple projects. So
Mhm.
that will come under that root folder. Coimbatore Meetup, I can see multiple projects, or every time I need to create new root for
No,
individual
no.
projects.
For this complete Anypoint Code Builder instance, there will be
Hmm?
only one root directory. Okay.
Okay.
Inside that root directory, you can create different folders. So right now,
Okay.
if I clone it right with the
Hmm?
project repo, we'll
Hmm?
be getting a new folder, right? So under that root directory, we'll get a one folder. So for example, let's do that. Okay. So Control V,
Okay.
continue. Okay. So this will activate your GitHub. So there will be a handshaking happening between. So this Anypoint Code Builder will be authorized to clone the repositories from the GitHub. Now that is what happening. Okay, but to answer to your question, you'll get different project
Full.
directories under
Hmm.
same home directory,
Same on it. Okay.
same home directory, and that will be created automatically for your home directory. Okay.
Okay. So the POC one which you created, that we can consider as a project, an individual project.
Yes, yes, yes. That's how I have created because I wanted to
Hmm.
logically split those properly.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
that's
hmm,
the
hmm.
reason POC, specification, and integrations. These are my folders. Now,
Okay.
since it is getting loaded,
Hmm.
yeah,
So
it
that
says that some.
M2 dot M2
Hmm.
what we have, so it is like the we can say the dot M2 repository we have in our
Exactly,
the local
exactly,
repository.
exactly. Okay, so if you see here, there is a .m2 directory. If you open it, see repository folder, and all the repositories libraries are there. Now, literally, if you want to run Maven commands, you can go under this M2 folder and and use a new file here. And you remember that setting.xml? You can literally create
Yeah,
that setting.xml here. And okay,
it's already
already
created, I
exists.
guess. Yeah,
Uh, where it is?
it was there in that dot M2 out of repository.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
this is there, right? See,
yeah.
and you can see that it's already there. Now, whenever this guy he access, right, I don't want to show the token. So whenever you remember, it did the handshake between our Anypoint Code Builder to the Anypoint platform. It actually triggers the Anypoint platform with my credentials. Took that token, keep it here, and with this token, you see now this is the ID. This ID is getting used over here, and the same ID will be getting used if I create one project over here. Let me show you one. I
Uh,
have created simple project.
but
Hmm.
one thing, Ashish, like already this code builder is inside the platform. So again, why we need to give extra credentials over here to?
No. This is not there in the code builder. Okay.
Okay,
This is hosted outside of your code builder, outside of your
outside
endpoint
the
platform.
platform. Okay.
You can see the literal domain there. See
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
salesforce.com. And
salesforce.com.
guys, you'll get a container, you'll get proper load balancer, and behind the load balancer, your Anypoint Code Builder is running right now. I'm not sure why this guy is not giving me confirmation. Okay, yeah, now it's coming up. I'll just go ahead, confirm. Now see conversion, all okay. I'll close this. Now if I come back here, okay, it should load all the repositories. Whatever repositories are available under my GitHub account, right? All those repositories will be loaded here. Just a second. Come on. Okay, but you got the idea, right? So all the repositories will be list down here. Let me show you how those looks like in my presentation. So if I go here, um, yeah. So let me take it from here. Okay. Yeah, since it is taking time. Okay. So when you try to launch it, right, it will ask you to accept this terms and condition. You need to get this access. First thing. Second thing, it will show you this page where left hand side we already seen. Then third thing, it will, if you want to clone anything from the GitHub, it will ask you that this extension will try to log into your GitHub, copy this code, and you'll get this screen. And then all those repositories which are there, right? Those will get loaded over here. You're able to see my screen? Right,
Yes,
everyone?
Ashish. Yes.
Yes, yes, we could.
This is what, and from here you'll pick one repo which is your area of interest, right? Under specific repository, you'll be fixing something, right? That one will come over here, and then okay, this is also again important, guys. When you are creating any folder, it will ask you to trust that folder, because your Anypoint Code Builder is going to access that folder. So you need to give the trust. You need to say, yes, trust this author. This is done. This is done. And then we'll come back to the UI, but let me see why it is not coming. Can I go back? Okay. Close this. Yeah. Clone repository. Now clone. It should show something. Let me refresh, okay? This is the golden rule we have. If something is not working, just refresh.
I was
Hello.
about to tell you that. Let's refresh.
Hello. Not sure why it is not loading it. Clone repositories. Allow. Open. Control V. Continue. Code. All set. Okay. Yeah. See now. Right. So what we can do, we can pick one of my project from here. Somewhere there will be hello world. Hello world new lab. Okay. Now it is asking where you want to keep that project. See. So it's going to clone that, right? Now here, Abhishek, you are asking, right? You can pick the folder now, integration, right? I will say, go ahead. So under this particular folder is going to clone your repo.
So you have created that integration folder earlier.
Yeah, if you don't create it, it will go to that home directory, whichever folder you want to select. You need to select the
Okay.
folder.
Okay. So
Okay.
means additionally or manually, I need to at least create it. If not, then automatically like everything will come in the root repository. And
Then yeah, and then it will be real tough for you to split it, right? What all
split it.
specifications, what all, because everything will get created under your home directory only.
Yeah, it will be splitted in different way, like not in a particular folder then.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can see a code over here. This is the code. I'll be getting it from the code repo. Okay. It will take some time. Not sure why it's not showing me that flow icon here. Okay. Anyway, so this way you can clone the code from your GitHub to here. Now let's go back to our main agenda. So we are going to follow this API lifecycle. So let's start with this. Let me close everything from here right now. Okay. Now let's start with the design. So hope I have cleared the basic stuff. This is what the setup. Okay. For if a developer comes, right, this is the bare minimum they need to have access to the Anypoint platform, to have access to the your GitHub repo, and have proper extensions added to your Anypoint Code Builder. Once you do that, let's say you're starting fresh. So let's start with the design API. Okay. Now, when you design API, you can create fragment, you can create API specification, you can give a project name. So I'll just say hello world project. Okay. Now you can go ahead and select the location. Now this is not integration, right? So I'll go back to somehow the delete won't work here. Okay. You need to do backspace only. So specification, select this folder. Now under specification, I'm creating implementation. I'll create an implementation or integration. Okay. Now which language? Definitely will go with RAML 1.0. Now here, this is the new option they are added. Okay. Earlier this was not there. Now if you have multiple business group here, you can go ahead and select that. So under I have only one business group, so I'll go ahead and create this. Okay, so you'll get a root raml file. We can start with here. So let's go ahead and have our resource. I'll say message. Now if you go, you put a space. Okay, it will take some time to load it. It will give you options. Okay, just a second. The way we are getting options in our design center, right? But let me take one thing. Okay, now yeah, it will show you now. See here, it's deploying something for us. Now before writing anything here, okay, let me go to my design center. Okay, let me go to my design center. Open the design center. Earlier nothing was there in my design center. Okay, see hello world, this got created. See specification, and if you see, only root raml file with the title and the header will be there. See here, this is what just now got created for us. Now if I make any changes over here in this file, those changes I need to sync manually. These changes won't get synced with my design center automatically, guys. Okay, keep that in mind. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
See what I have done. I have created a specification project. The moment I have created specification project in Anypoint Code Builder, the design center created that project. So that initial sync, the remote repo and the local repo, these two things are created. Now if I make any changes to the local repo, I need to manually sync it with the design center. So let's go ahead. Now if I say, now see, we are getting other options, right? So it takes time. So let's say get, if I go here, let's say body, responses, then 200, then body, then application JSON, then example. Okay, and here we'll say message colon hello from Coimbatore. Meetup. Oh, this is enough, right? So have a simple API. You can go ahead and here you can add the protocols. Here you can say, see, it will give you all the options which you are getting. But don't you think this is little faster, right? As compared to the Anypoint Studio development and all that. Okay. You can go ahead and add version here. Let's say P1. Whatever best practices you want to add it, you can go ahead and add it. Okay. I can go ahead and change my and I can change this. I say hello hyphen world hyphen sys hyphen API. Okay. Now this is very simple, right? We'll go ahead and now we'll try to sync it because yeah, it is auto saved. Somebody was asking, right? It is auto saving. Okay. I don't need to save anything. Okay, I'll go here, but there will be a M icon over here, and that M is telling modified. M tag will be there associated with any file or anything you're changing. It will have a tag M. Okay. Now how to sync this? So we are going to sync with master. So we'll say, and don't get confused. Whatever I have cloned it from the GitHub, I'm not changing that. Okay. Don't get confused. You'll be getting confused that, hey Ashish, is this going to get added to the GitHub repository or design center? The answer is design center. Okay. So just give a message. We'll say hello, or I'll go with the standard message. Initial commit. This is the universal standard message. Commit. It will say that would you like to stage all your changes and commit them directly? Yes. Now the M sign will go save, seeing the changes. Okay. Now you see, would you like you to periodically run git fetch? I say yes. Okay, now if I go to my designer and if I say refresh, see here, everything is sync now. Okay, you can go ahead and test it here, or we can go ahead here, inside here, and API console will get it here. Get, you can try it, send. See, you'll get a proper API console here. Any questions on design part, guys? You know how simple it is. Any questions over here?
So Ashish, from where we can publish it to the exchange from the ID?
Yeah, I'm coming to that point. But till this point, any questions?
No, all good.
Okay, okay. Now we have two options. If you want to go to design center, you can publish it from there. But here we have option. Either you can go from here. I'll show you now the options. Okay. So here you can go. You can see that terminal is there. You can literally run the Maven command from here for your application. Okay. Second thing is go to view again. Now command palette. The command palette is something which gives us the lot of options. Now see here, add browser breakpoint, function breakpoint, anypoint code builder focus, blah, 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 blah. We'll be interested in mulesoft specific. So type mulesoft here, define an API, add fragment. Let's say my specification is there. I want to add some dependency from Exchange. The way we do it in design center, right? I can use that option here. Okay, design an API, develop an API, or develop an integration. Now, what is my intention right now? My intention is to publish it, right? Are you able to see publish option here? So, now shortcut also there. Control Shift P. Okay. Publish. Publish to GitHub. Publish to GitHub branch. Since we have connected with GitHub, it's showing only publish to GitHub. That is related to GitHub. MuleSoft. Import is there. MuleSoft. Hey, come on. Implement specification. Exchange. Just a second. Let me check the documentation. Because the option was there. design API. Just hold on, give me a second. Create your this. Synchronize publish to exchange. Publish. You see here, there is option, but why it's not coming for us? Okay. If you look at this, Control Shift P, we're searching for what? We're searching for this option only, right? Publish. And
Yeah,
this is
that's the
stupid
one.
guy cannot publish. Control Shift. Publish. No, we are not getting that option. Git publish is there, publish to GitHub is there. In between, we should get that, right? I'm not doing anything extraordinary here. We need to check this with the MuleSoft why that option is not coming now. Now, documentation also says same thing. See here, look at this. If I search for publish, right? Let me check. I have selected the file properly. Yes, I have selected the file properly. Close this, close it. I think we are there in the console, I guess. Okay, Control Shift P now. Now it's a publish. Yeah. So make sure, okay, your tab, under which tab you are. We were there in this tab, right? Here. So make sure that you are in right tab. Go ahead now. Control Shift P. Yeah. So these things will come. Yeah. So now MuleSoft, and if you search for publish API specific into the exchange, see, have a look at it. Search for this. It will ask you to give the parameters. Okay. So the project name I'll take as it is, hello world. Okay. Enter. This is artifact ID. Now the GAV, those coordinates will come into picture. The version V1, it will publish it to the exchange. So let's go to our exchange and have a look at it now. So if I go to exchange now, nothing was there in the exchange. Now this guy will publish this to the exchange. Okay. So it's taking time. Publishing to, yeah, done. If I go back here, refresh, you'll find that asset over here, right? Okay, second phase also done. Any questions on this? Publishing your asset, you can go ahead now here and you can literally see the same features what you're getting it from the design center. You can go ahead here. You can literally go and test the CP console, mocking service. You'll be able to see that message. Clear so far? Any questions? Are we clear?
Yeah, Ashish, no questions.
Okay. So let me close this. Okay, come back here now. Okay. Now, so would you like to implement? Now see, immediately it asks, okay, you publish it. So you are going to implement it. So you can say either yes or no. If you select yes over here, I'll go ahead and use that. But I'll change and I'll say Control Shift P, come back here, and I'll say MuleSoft again. Okay. And I'll say so you can go ahead and do this. This is one option. Now go here. You have one more option here, implement an API. See, after publishing immediately you got one option. Then you can go to the Control Shift P over there. That is one option, and you can go here and select the option also. Now give the project name. Okay, this one. And then you'll select the API. You can do that. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Or we have both the options. I'll close this, close this. Control Shift P, implement. Okay, implement an API specification. See, same screen will get it. Okay, so let's go ahead and say hello world. And now this time I don't want to use specification. I'll use my integration project. It's integration. Select it. Okay. And now you need to select the asset. Now, if you want to filter it, right, there are options here now. See which organization, mulesoft. Why our organization is not coming? It should come, right? Oh. Yeah, it should show me that. Okay, anyway. So we'll go with any type. We'll go with REST APIs, apply. And we'll search for our, what was the name of our API? Hello. Right? We'll search for hello. This one. Select, add, create project. So it will run these scaffolding service behind the scene. Any questions? It will take some time. Yeah, scaffolding finished. It will create project. Okay. Now if you see here, there is a source, there's a main, same folder structure will get created here also. New. It is taking time to create that configuration file. Project indexed. Is anything wrong? Terminal. Problems. I don't know why the file is not created. Hello world integration. There is nothing wrong with our API, right?
No.
Yeah. Strange actually. No file got created. We are looking at right project. We have test directory here. Pom.xml. Let's check the pom.xml whether yeah, you got the dependency. If you get the dependency, it should have your API kit module also. Literally strange. I don't know. We can't do anything here. Yeah.
Can you refresh
It's
the folder once?
yeah. Let's refresh and see. Nothing. Yeah. This is strange. I mean, it's a very simple. Nothing. No rocket science. But still, it will create.
Yes, but it's a rule of demo, no? Whenever you are trying to show demo, one or the other
Yeah.
thing fails.
But do you see anything, any rocket science? This is a day-to-day work, right?
Correct.
And suddenly it didn't throw
Also,
any error.
it has the
Uh,
dependency with that org ID and everything.
yeah, it has a
Maybe
dependency.
you remove this and put again. It's
No,
a
but
type.
that won't generate. That won't generate your flows, right? It
No,
won't
it
generate that.
won't generate, but doing it properly. It's a zip type. That's
It will
also
be always zip type.
fine. Yeah,
It will be
that's also
zip type.
fine.
No, see, API kit module also added. That means you have
Yeah,
created the file, right? You have
but not
created the
showing.
flow. That's it. That is HTTP connector is there. Your API kit module is there. That means you have created the code.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally strange. I don't know. Source main. Okay. Anyway, I mean, I say that. Okay. Sorry if I'm taking in a wrong direction. But this is how you create it. Okay. Now, instead of this, what I'll do, I'll create my own project. So let's go ahead and we'll say here. So I'll say develop an integration. Or can I try one more time? Implement API. And this time I'll give a different project name. Let's say message API. Let me try, okay? Just I'm giving one more try. So search for somewhere something is stuck. Oh, no, is there? Select this, add asset. Let's see anything we are missing. Create project. Scaffolder finished successfully. That's what it says. Source. Now it got created. Strange, right? I mean, I don't understand. Okay, maybe some hiccups, network issue or something. Okay, are we clear so far, guys? Now, how look at my screen? Okay. So giving one more try helps. Okay, so now the project name is Message API. Now, how look at it? Okay, so in okay, so you can see here we have our flow, and recently they have added something over here. Okay, which is flow list. Now you can go to flows from here. Okay, so if you have multiple flows, all those will be coming in this list, particular list. Okay, now if you want to add a flow, you can go ahead and you can add. Now this is the UI I was talking about. This was not there when they started actually. This UI was not there. Now you can literally drag from here, subflow, flow, honor, continue. These things will be, you can add. Okay, close this. Now there is a plus icon over here. Now we are under the flow scope. So under the flow scope, we cannot add a flow. What we can add? We can add components. See, add components. So we have option called core processors. We'll go with batch job. Components we have. See here, all those flow reference, global property, logger, proxy, all blah, blah, blah. All these things are there. We can go ahead and add these components. If you go for batch job, you can go ahead and add the batch job. Flow control. Okay, now you'll be asking, I don't have answer to that question. Now let's say if that processor is not there, for example, let's say MongoDB or AWS S3, then you need to go and add that. So for example, you need to go and say Control Shift P, search for connectors. Developer connections, trigger, reconnect. I need to see that. Hope you got my point. What I'm trying to say is, if those not available in this palette, right? Now we only have option to go, close this, go to our XML file. Okay. So now here, if you look at the XML file, right? Here you need to press Control space. Now what do you want? See here, there is a db config. The moment you add db config here, okay, add the db config. Now under this db config, go inside. So now see, the moment I added this, you go to your form.xml. Sorry, I'm moving from here and there, but go to dependencies. See, database dependencies added. Okay. Now one more thing I'll tell you: when you create a project in Anypoint Studio, minimum dependencies you'll get it, right? Remember, minimum dependencies. Can anybody tell me what are those minimum dependencies you'll get it? Just a question, very simple question, trivial question. What are those two minimum dependencies will be always there inside your new project?
HTTP in sockets.
Yeah. Here, if you create a project, right, nothing will be there. You need to literally add this HTTP also, and you won't see socket specific, dependency here. Now this is coming because I have created project from API specification. I literally show you that this dependency also won't come. You need to literally say, hey, I want HTTP connector. Then only it will come over here. So once you say DB connector, okay, go back to over here. Now under this, you need to say that which connection you want. See here, I'll go for MySQL. Okay, now here you need to give host name, port. Now the moment you add this, let's see something is changed in pom.xml or not. So let me say host is localhost, local host, and here I'll be adding 3306. Okay, now if this is the case, and you need to give proper name to your configurations, that is again hectic job for us. db config, db config. Okay, so and this db config you'll be using. Now under the flow, somewhere, okay, for example, we'll go to our flow. Mhm. Here, now you can go ahead. It will load those operations specific to database. Okay, it will take some time, but it will load those. But if you notice, this is you are getting test connection option here. You can go ahead, test this connection. See down, it will test that connection. Verifying connection, hello world, HTTP listener config. Now somebody, if there is XML code, right? We used to get that test connection option, right? Where I can test my DB connection. So this is the option. Test connection, you'll get this option, okay? So it will verify whether you are able to connect that machine or not, okay? Or whichever machine you want to connect. Any
Sorry,
questions?
sorry to interrupt, Ashish. So for this custom connectors from the exchange, can we import from here in the XML only or from anywhere
Yeah,
else?
yeah, yeah. If it is available on Exchange, right? Everything will come over here. You can
Okay.
get it.
So this is the only way to import the connector, right?
Yes. Okay, so even I am also exploring, but if there is any other option, maybe we can get it soon. But this is there in beta. That's the reason I was searching here. Is there any connector specific stuff? Connector. See, there is no option to add it here. Next option is add this guy, and if you see here, it will only show the something is getting loaded. Let's wait for that. Okay, so this is web based, so definitely this kind of hiccups will get it. Sometime it will stop loading. Okay, so I don't want this db config, so I'll go ahead and say I don't want this. I'll just remove it because I'm not going to use any database stuff. Close this. Okay. Now let's assume that this is what the code changes we want to do. Okay, so as it is, whatever is getting generated from our code, right? Definitely, if I go to my flow list, this is my main flow, correct? Inside the transform activity, I am going to go ahead and change this logic, whatever message I have, right? Instead of this, you'll be really connecting to source system and target system and get the data. Now let's say we assume that we're connected to the target system and we got this message. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to run this flow and test it. Now what all options we have, you can go ahead and say run. It will say add additional debuggers. Okay. There is an option, you can go ahead and say this guy. Behind the scene, it will do the same thing. it will try to add the runner for your project. So I'm not sure where is this guy testing. If this guy stuck, this guy also stuck. Better to refresh, reload. So are we clear so far? Any questions, anyone? We have followed the complete API lifecycle only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead now quickly and let's see if we load this hierarchy. Now, since it is loading, right, you can see here in the top right corner, there are three icons. One to see this flow. Second one directly to deploy to Cloud Hub. And third one to look at the XML code also. Okay. So instead of running here, let's go ahead and deploy directly to the Cloud Hub. Click on it. Okay. Click on this. Hope something is happening. Huh? No, nothing is happening, right? Close this. Close this. Okay, I'll follow the other approach. Mulesoft, deploy to cloud. Is it stuck somewhere? Looks like that.
It is creating a deploy.json file, Ashish. So,
Yeah, it will create, but it should show me something, right? Yeah, deploy.json it will create, but it should show me something that is happening, right? Like it won't take. I know that somewhere it is getting stuck. Refresh. Yeah, we can't do anything, okay? If this guy is slow. Any questions? I can take the questions if you want. Okay,
Ashish,
last.
it's a question from Chiti Babu. Like, can we deploy the API into on-premise from the Anypoint Code Builder?
Right now, it's giving me option to deploy to Cloud Hub only. Okay. But definitely you can export the code, build the jar. We have option here to, yeah, I didn't show that now. Just hold on. Let's go here, go to terminal. Okay. And from this, let me run this command, maven clean. You can literally run this maven command from here and it will contact your C. This is perfectly working, and we can literally go maven clean deploy. This command you can run it from here, but for that we need to properly configure our pom.xml. Am I right, everyone?
Yeah.
And I'm nobody to teach you that how to deploy via maven commands, how to configure this pom.xml, right? That is not the intention of today's meetup. Okay. And hope you remember when we go to these uh, just a second, file, open folder, everybody, you've seen there was a setting.xml available in the .m2 folder. We can use that setting.xml for running our maven commands. Clear so far? Right, everyone? I'll go here.
Yes.
And let me go to the under integration, message API, open this, and let's say Control Shift P, deploy to Cloud Hub. Not sure what happening. Just give me a second, guys, okay? Integration, message API. So when we trigger that deploy to Cloud Hub, right? One file will be created here, deploy.json. Okay. So we'll give one more try whether it's creating that file or not. So let's wait for this. Or if nothing works, right, what we can do is project it index now. Everything is loaded. Let me trigger this guy. Yep. Awesome now. Okay, now see deploy.json got created. Now it's your responsibility to check this. This is a unique name. Okay. And how many workers you want to deploy, what is the worker size you want, on which mule runtime you want to deploy. Yeah. Once you get this information, you can go ahead and you can go to which environment you wanted to go, sandbox. Deployment of message API has started. Check the status. You can look at the terminal. Let's go to our Anypoint platform, runtime manager.
So Ashish, did you add something on settings.xml? I'm getting a 403 unauthorized error.
Where?
Once we click on this deploy to Cloud Hub.
No, if you look at the setting.xml, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hope you are following me properly. So there is a server, okay? Now that server, if you see, okay, so just hold on. I'll show you.
Okay.
So if you go to the file, open folder, uh, one level up. This is our home directory, M2 folder. Okay, and okay. So if we go inside, right? I didn't do anything. Okay. So if you look at this, this is the token we'll be getting. Okay, and this token is authorized to do that job.
This is added automatically.
This is added automatically. Okay. Okay, so you can see that it's deployed successfully. We can go ahead and copy this URL, copy this link, and Control V. I think I've given message, right? Message. This is what I have given, right? In the specification. No? Message only, right? API. Slash API. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Slash API. Bad gateway, come on.
It's
Home,
HTTPS.
HTTPS. See, I'm poor guy, you know. See, so you're getting that, right? Now the pending part is, let me quickly show you. Did I close anything here? Where is my, hey, did I close something? Okay. So let me quickly go back to our API and how to run it from here. Open folder, integration, go here. Okay, message API, source. Okay. Now if you see, go to run and debug. Really strange. It's not showing up anything. Okay, run, install debug, category debuggers. No, I don't want to do that. How will I say something is happening or not? Nothing is happening. Okay, more than this I can't do because I don't know what is happening. It's not, is it running, not running? It- okay, if it is running, let's say, let's assume that it's running. Okay, now if I want to trigger that application, this is the URL, copy this URL, go to browser here, and after this, okay, just paste it. Okay, enter. Not found, that means it's not running. Okay, now this URL you can take it, go back to your Postman. If you want to test it from Postman, definitely we need if you want to send any body, you want to trigger a post method, we need a REST client. Go to REST client, paste this URL. Okay, other than this thing, we need one header. Okay, what is that header? You can go here and the header name is cookie. Okay, cookie. And this cookie value, you'll get it from, and these are constant values. You can go here. When you run this, maybe you can say F12. Okay, here under this cookies, right? Here you'll find two properties, proxy properties. Okay, those two values you need to pick. Those two values you need to pick and come down to your postman here and just paste it comma separated. Those two values. That's it. It will work. Okay. You got my point? Somehow this run is not working for me. I don't want to wait till the end, okay? And keep on waiting for this guy to run. I don't see any clue why it is not running. Anybody is finding any issues? I don't see any error also. Okay, so let's give one more try. It's going somewhere, showing up, and then it's gone. Refresh. Yeah, but you got the idea, right? If you want to run it from here, take this URL. This is the URL, not this one. This is the URL for you. Okay, and after that you give the endpoint. If you want to trigger your from the postman or any REST client, come back to that postman, add the header called cookie, and add those two values. From where you'll get those two values? You'll get those two values from where you actually ran your API. Okay, from here you ran your API. Let's say you trigger it, and you go to the developer console here, F12, and in this cookies section you'll find those two values, proxy values. Okay, add those values to your postman here, and that's it. Okay, yeah, so that's all. Wanted to show you guys complete API lifecycle on your Anypoint Code Builder. Okay, and as I mentioned, the look and feel will be like this. Okay, so you saw the editor, and we have discussed this common palette. We have seen home directory, you know, new folder, how to create new directory. We have upload the directory, package this, import this project, and we have seen these options. Synchronize with Design Center, we have seen. Publish to Exchange, we have seen. We are navigated to the configures. Yeah, this I think this is the beautiful feature I saw. Yeah, okay. I'll just talk about it, okay, which is very important. Uh, I think everybody should know this. So file, and we have uh, preferences. Are you able to see preferences, and configure user snippets. Okay, so you can create global snippets file. Okay, and what it is. Okay, just go back to the presentation. Type file create snippets, and replace snippet file with the mulesoft code snippet. Okay, so you can get this code from the documentation itself. Where are we? File, preferences, snippet, global snippet file. Okay, you can create something here. Okay, just let me show you what you can create here. For example, when we configure, you remember when we say DB MySQL configuration, right? Now see here, see, these are coming automatically. See, now this is auto-generated code, right? Which is very helpful, right? See how look at it.
Yeah.
I don't need to give anything over here. See, properly it's coming from there. See, db config. Now if you go here, now one more. Let's say Control C, SMTP or something. We'll take it. Okay, Salesforce. Let's say. How look at it. Now you just need to go to your property file, add these properties. That's it. You don't need to make any change over here. As it is, go to the property file, add these variables, add these properties over there. That's it. See here. Okay, that snippet will help you. Okay, I think that's all I have. Other than that, I think I'm done. This is what we have discussed. Uh, we have seen this deployment. We have seen, yeah, that's what I planned.
Ashish, I have one question related to runtime arguments. So where can we
Okay.
provide them in the visual, Anypoint Code Builder while running it
Uh,
locally?
okay. Good question. I have not tried that, frankly, but I something saw like a global properties control shift here. Uh, just a second. Just now I saw go here, and if you remember, we have created one mule configuration file, right? Okay, run open configuration. Okay, here, and here we can add those type. See here, runtime configurations, runtime arguments. We can pass those arguments here. Okay.
Mm. And
So you
sorry, go on.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a second question in my list. So if we are
Mm-hmm.
done with, so second question is related to adding breakpoints. So when we
Mm-hmm.
run it in the debug mode, we need to
Mm-hmm.
add the breakpoints on the flow, or we need to add it on the XML file.
We need to add it on XML file. So right now, if I show you the hello world XML file, right? You can
Yes.
see here, add a breakpoint. See, on whichever component you want, you can add the breakpoint. From here, add a breakpoint, and on that component, you'll be able to see the control is stopping.
Okay.
Okay, breakpoints. You know how to
Thank.
test this also, right? You see all this. If you click, it will start testing it, the connection. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely, we'll be putting breakpoint inside, right? Not on these configurations. I put it
Yes.
in wrong location, but my intention was to show you in the XML file. We need to put those breakpoints.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for asking questions. Yeah. I think from my side, I'm done. If you have any questions, we can go ahead and have those questions. Otherwise, I'm done. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Ashish, a question from Kalyan Kumar. Like, can we implement MU unit as well?
MUnit, good question. Okay, so right now I don't see that option, or maybe I have not explored that part. But let's have a look at it. Uh, Let me go to the project level, test level, right? MUnit is there. Right click. Let me see. Huh? Just a second. Internal error. That's great. But the answer is right now, I have not explored that part. But if I get that, answer, I'll definitely try to post it somewhere. Okay. But on the documentation right now, I don't see that. If you go to the documentation, I don't see that option right now. Maybe I have not explored it. Okay. Implement or design, developing integration. Here for Anypoint Code Builder, MNIT is not at all mentioned anywhere. Okay. I'll take it as a assignment. Okay, guys. Yeah, MNIT for Anypoint Code Builder. And there are other cosmetic parts are there. You can go ahead and literally change the theme, blah blah blah. You can do a lot of things. Okay, so there is a home button over here. It will take you to the welcome page. Close everything. Close this. Mm, yeah. View appearance or theme will be there somewhere. Okay, editor layout. No appearance. Okay, we can change the themes. I know that. Okay, you can literally go search for theme here. You can find themes. Okay, with themes you can use it for your editor. Okay, and when you launch it, right, that time it will ask you to select the theme. You can select multiple themes from there. You can download your custom theme and start using it. So yeah, I think I don't want to eat more time. That's all I have. Thank you.
So Ashish, last one question. Like, can we write an implementation logic from Canvas instead of touching directly the XML?
Implementation logic on the canvas, right? Uh, we don't have option here right now. So I got the question. I mean, what he's asking. So if I go to my, uh, nothing is loading. I don't know why. Whenever I'm saying that test the connection, it's getting stuck. Okay. So if I open my message API, hello world, and here we are talking about, right, in this area canvas, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm. Sorry man, it's not loading, I don't know. Okay, so from here we can select the component, and for those components we'll get the XML code this side, and that's the reason they have given you can parallelly see and make a change. Okay, on the canvas, maybe in future they will consider that, but they are giving option, both options. So see here view, and you can make a code change here. Okay, can we run multiple applications parallelly by opening new terminal? Multiple applications, yes we can, because everything is running in different container, so we can run the multiple applications. But then we need to select, just like we do in Anypoint Studio, right? We need to select multiple applications and then start running it. Here also there is an option to do that, but right now my application itself is not loading. Okay, so in Studio also we can run multiple applications parallelly. Hmm. Yeah, any more questions? Thank you. Okay, thanks. Then if there are no questions, we can stop here.
And
Thanks everyone for
thanks Ashish for short notice. You did it very as usual. You did a great job. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Ashish. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.